Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So a question a bit about the Anand Karaj and the Lama. So the first question is about the fact that each Lama goes into depth about a couple's relationship with Vaheguru, and it's mentioned throughout the Lama. What if you don't believe in Vaheguru or do Nam Simran? Can you still have an Anand Karaj?
Well, firstly, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. This is a little bit of a difficult one, I would say, because what you have here is the issue that we have is that lots of Anand Karajas do take place. So if there's no meaning for it culturally, should we still be having them? Maybe Paisab, you would know, you could dwell on this a little bit better. What do you think?
Yes, we should be having them. It's like saying to a child, because you can't understand A levels or a degree education, you should start on the first step of education. We need to treat marriage as a worldly thing first, because obviously if the marriage isn't there, there's less chance of them achieving the spiritual goal. So no one's going to be a Gurmat when they get married. Because the marriage stages that four Lama are directing us to a very high spiritual avastas, even in the first Lama, it's not an easy avasta to achieve. And I would say from my own experience, there's probably only very few even achieve that one. So if we say no marriage can happen because of their state of mind at the time of marriage, I think that would be a very negative thing to do. What we should be saying is each couple needs to understand their journey of family life and also spiritual life. Now, if they don't believe in Vaheguru or in Naam or Gurbani and they have a marriage, and I'm sure a lot of marriages that are taking place these days are probably in that category because they don't even understand Gurbani. So how are they going to even attempt to put into practice?
But Faisab, you know,
yeah.
going into history, when we look at the past, there even in our time, we would see that certain Kirtani would not do someone's Anand Karaj unless they're Amritari. Certain people would not go and be present at Anand Karajas. Certainly, spiritual people wouldn't be present at Anand Karajas if they were not Amritari. And nowadays, what we do see is we see a lot of they call themselves Sikh, and they are Sikh, but they might not turn around and agree with the practices and, all of a sudden, like non-believers. Do we, now, generally, culturally, do you reckon it's right still that we actually allow Anand Karajas to happen in that way, or do we need to think about something else? Now, I'm not saying one's right or wrong, I'm just saying that...
I think it's a slippery slope to cutting more people off from Sikhi. I can see where the people who agree with that sort of theory are coming from. They want purity in Sikhi, saying only those that believe in Sikhi should get married through this ceremony. Those that don't believe, why should they be allowed to? So my question is simple. How do you decide belief? If you say only Amritaris can get married, then you're going to have a very small percentage of Sikhs getting another card, the rest will be gone.
And not just that, how can me, you, or anyone put some kind of meter on the person's spirituality? Like, how can we guess that in that way? We can't. Because only Guru Sahib knows that. So what you're saying is, today someone might be a non-believer or might be, I wouldn't even say a non-believer, a weak believer, but how do we know that that person in the day after their Anand Karaj is going to become such a strong believer or not? So it's turning around, if you're, what we're trying to say is that really there is that acceptance for even non-believers to have an Anand Karaj, because that might get them to start believing.
I think the biggest fault is not with them, it's with the organizers. They should be conducting these ceremonies with the amazing educational material that they can provide at these marriages in terms of presentations or video education at that time, at the marriage, saying this is what Sikh marriage is all about. This is what your journey is. Even if that video is a 15 minutes long, we should play it in every marriage. We should be professionally prepared so that the Sangha there and the couple at least have some understanding what Guruji is gifting us, what he's blessing us with. At the moment all that happens is that the couple and the families go to the Gurdwara, the Kirtaniye, the Granthis do their role in terms of singing the shabds, reciting the Lama, and doing the Ardas, and that's it. Very few Gurdwaras have any explanation on marriage. So how are you going to get these people to understand? I find it difficult to believe. But even having said that, you are totally right. If somebody comes to the Gurdwara in a marriage ceremony, you don't know which person in that, either a couple or somebody else, is going to receive those blessings for some reason or another, that it might change his life. It might change his direction. And even the couple, when you look at it, say if they're in distress, something goes wrong, and they suddenly come back to the marriage ceremony, and somebody has said something very useful in that ceremony, that could help them or guide them through their problems. So I'm saying really what we need to do is, rather than discuss who gets married, once they're classified as Sikhs, either by background, family background, right, or another reason, then we should be focusing on how to best perform our marriage ceremony so that the maximum amount of education is given not just the couple, but the Sangat as well. So they fully understand the ayah, Guru Sahib, our message. This is the message Guru Sahib is giving us. Let's all try to understand it. And not try to say, Asi better or Madaya, right? Because I've come from a situation where in the 1970s, there was no Gurdwaras, hardly one Gurdwara in each town. And guess who built them? All these Sajdaris, we call them one name, right? They are working in foundries, earning pennies. They collected pennies to buy these Gurdwaras. And we say, Sikhi right? But if the Gurdwaras weren't built, we would have come to Sikhi. If I came to Sikhi without someone in Gurdwara, the Gurdwara was never there, maybe I would have come to Sikhi at all.